Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's all about racing. In today's video we're going to do a direct side-by-side comparison of a TSM 2019 Ford GT, that's the TSM over there, versus the IXO 2019 Ford GT over here. Now, the Ford GT IXO model I purchased for about $35. I would say retail prices including shipping are probably closer to $50. The TSM model I got for $68, even though if you were to buy this at a racetrack, they sell for about $95. I would say $80 is about the average for that on eBay. So it is a substantially more expensive model than the IXO model. And the question here is whether it is worth it or not. The IXO model, much like the TSM model, does come on a plastic base, although this is black and is raised. It does have an acrylic jewel cover with matching box. The TSM model is on a white plastic base with a felt underside, comes with an acrylic jewel cover and a corresponding box. Over the past couple years, the IXO's models have become better and better as what I call getting close to spark quality, which means their attention to detail has gotten better. This car, although better, is not great. From a distance, it all looks good, but when you look close up, some of the differences are apparent. The wheel detail looks good, although not spectacular. Decaling and paint finish look very, very sharp, at least from this angle. The rocker panel that you see down there is black, and while it does look good, it's not exceptional. It lacks carbon fiber trim detail. Again, the rear wheel looks good, as well as the rear wing, even though if you look at the diffuser from the side, and we'll kind of focus in on that. Again, it's just plain flat black. It really lacks good detail. TSM model looks very, very sharp from the side. Wheel detail is good. Decaling and finish looks sharp. The rocker panel, you can see, does have carbon fiber trim finish, which is lacking on the IXO model. The exhaust looks good. You also have the leader light panel there, which is lacking on the IXO. Now, bear in mind, the IXO is not in the IMSA WeatherTech series, so it has the three lights on it rather than the number panel. One thing that is apparent from here, if you take a look at the rear diffuser, is the carbon fiber detail is very, very sharp, and you just don't have that on the IXO model. Now, as you take a look at the front of these models, the differences become hugely apparent. Notice that the front of the TSM model looks low, sleek. The IXO model, although mounted higher, looks fat and not sleek. In fact, it looks oversized and out of proportion, and I do believe that it is. Another significant issue with it is, and again, this is a price difference, is the details. Your front grille is basically just a black plastic piece that is slapped on there, as well as the massive front splitter on the car. The tow hook sticks out way too far, much over-exaggerated. The details of the headlights are actually quite good for an IXO model. The front finish looks good until you look at the radiator outlets, and you can see the paint finish is very, very sloppy. Also, there's virtually no detail. It's just flat black. Inner cabin looks about as good as it's going to look on an IXO model. Windshield wiper, banner, all apparent. You do lack the emergency tabs by the corners of the hood. But again, that's common with most IXO models. You do have a bunch of aerials on the top of the car, which look very, very good. Now, the IXO model just looks long and sleek and sharp. And the base has all the details on the front of the model. And as you can see, it's a substantially longer base than you get on the IXO model. But as you look close up to the TSM model, look how good that grille looks. Just very, very sharp. The mesh apparent. Headlight detail is really, really good. As you get closer, you can see just how good it really is. Nose of the car looks good. The tow hook is there, but is not overly apparent. Finish looks sharp. Paint finish is good. And if you take a look at the radiator detail, look how good that looks. It's got texture. It looks sharp. Window cabin, Looks normal. You can see a decal in there, as well as you can see the on the sides of the hood, you can see the pull tabs for the fire extinguisher. And on the right side of the windshield banner, you can see the pull tabs to tear the screen off. And you have a number of aerials on the top of the car. Now notice one thing here, and we'll show you from this view. Look at the nice silver air intake grills in between the flying buttresses. I mean, look how good they look, how sharp that attention to detail is. Got to make sure the camera gets it right because it is really, really good. Now, if you take a look at the IXO model, all you get is black. Again, a non-textured finish. Just not very, very sharp. That's what the aerials look like on the IXO model. In my opinion, a little overdone. They're also quite tall, although staggered on the TSM model. Notice the nice carbon fiber finish on the air intake above the engine. And you don't have that on the IXO model. Now again, the rears of the model tell a nice story about both. Again, the IXO model just looks fat and overweight, too tall. Does have a nice diffuser, tow hook, good looking tail lights. The rear ring looks sharp, although it lacks a lot of the carbon fiber detail finish that you get on the TSM model. There's a good look at the engine nacelle from here. Again, you can see the air intakes on the sides of the center of the car, and they're just painted black. Now, if you take a look at the TSM model, it looks very, very sharp from the rear, looks low, slung, and sleek. Look at the carbon fiber detail on that massive rear diffuser. It looks really, really sharp. Everything looks good. The rear taillights look good. You can see the silver grille work on the side of the taillights. Again, all of that is inlaid. It looks sharp. It's metallic. And you can also see the same thing. You can see the silver grills right beside or beneath the engine nacelle there. Look very, very good on the TSM model. Folks, this is why you spend about twice as much for a TSM model as you might for an IXO model or an IXO versus a Spark. It's the attention to detail. It's the little things, the expensive things that they put in here. They take a lot of work. Again, just a much better looking car. Proportions look better, size looks better. All around, just a better look. Well, folks, that's it for this side-by-side comparison. Let me know what your thoughts are. You know, it's obvious that the TSM model, attention to detail, is substantially greater than that of the IXO model. And again, as I said, I paid $68 for it. The IXO I paid $35 for, so it was twice as expensive. But would you agree with me that the IXO model just looks bloated, looks fat, looks out of scale? And the TSM model looks very, very sleek, sharp, slung low, looks fast, looks mean, looks aggressive. And the IXO model just looks like a pig.